everyone, so I'm just starting off with priming my face. I'm using the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. It's one of my all-time favorite primers. It smells amazing. It makes your skin super soft, so I'd highly recommend this if you have dry skin. Okay, now I'm going into brows. I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Taupe. I just start by spooling my brows up. And I just use this really thin liner brush from Essence and I just fill them in. I'm pretty meticulous when I do my eyebrows, as you can see. I kind of start at the tail end and I line underneath, and then I brush my hairs down and line the top and then fill the rest in. Actually, before I do my other brow, I'm priming again with my YSL Touche Clot Blur Primer. I just use this on my T-zone because it helps to refine my pores and it helps with the oil production in my T-zone. And I'm just filling in the other brow. So I use a mix of foundations right now just to get my proper shade. I use the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, the Maybelline 24 Hour Super Stay I think it's called, and I use a little bit of the Revlon Color Stay just so I can get my right color for right now. I just dot that all over my face while flipping you off apparently. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I like a more yellow tone foundation just because my skin tone's very neutral, but my face is very red, so I like to balance out the redness with yellow toned foundations. And I just bounce that shit into my face. I'm just putting a little bit more in my T-zone just because I felt like I needed more coverage. And obviously down the neck because I do want my face to match the rest of my body. Next I'm going in with concealer. I use my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer under my eyes and in my T-zone just because this is super duper brightening and I have disgustingly dark circles under my eyeballs. Actually then go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is one of my favorite concealers ever, and I don't really know why I conceal twice, I just prefer the way it looks. And I also use this on any spots. I use this to prime my eyelids and then just blend it out with my beauty blender. I set all of that with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I like to use my damp beauty blender to set under my eyes and in my T-zone. I just feel like it helps to melt the powder into the skin, makes it not look cakey and all that good stuff. I use more of that powder, but I just use a fluffy brush and I just lightly dust it around the rest of my face, especially my neck. I don't want the foundation rubbing off on my clothes or anything. Oh, and there's the first time in this video that I get something in my eye. And I just set my eyes with that translucent powder, but with a little fluffy brush, just to have a nice base for my eyeshadow. And again, something in my eye, because I do that like 10 times a day. My favorite bronzer is a Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So I'm just using a big, like, fluffy stippling brush. I was saying how it smells so good in that clip. Yeah, and I just bronze up the perimeters of my face and down my neck a little bit. Then I take my Anastasia contour kit and I just use the shade in the middle. I think it's called Fawn, but I'm not too sure. Just on a little fluffy contour brush, and I just kind of chisel out my cheekbones, a little bit around my forehead and my jawline as well. And I just blend it out with another fluffy brush. Again, with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, I'm just kind of baking under my contour to make it more crisp and clean, and blending that out with a fluffy brush. Then I'm using the Tarte blush in Partey with a little blush brush. This is a really, really natural blush. It's one of my favorites. Oh, and look, something else is in my eye. Now for my favorite part, highlighting. I'm using the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit and a little e.l.f. brush. And I take, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's the golden shade at the bottom, mixed with a little bit of Forever Lit to make it extra shiny. And I essentially just turn myself into a disco ball. Now I take my Morphe 35W palette. This is usually my go-to for my eyes, and just a little fluffy brush. I'm just taking like a neutral light brown color and just popping that in my crease. I also run it along my lower lash line just to make my eyes kind of more balanced. And I also contour underneath my lip a little bit to make it look fuller. And then I just use a matte white shade in the palette just to highlight my brow bone. And then I go with my Physicians Formula Shimmer Brick and put like some neutral shimmery shades on my lid. I'm going too fast for my own good. And then I'm taking a nude liner from Rimmel and just lining my waterline. Then another one of those small brushes, and I'm actually just taking a dark brown shade of eyeshadow and lining my upper lash line and the outer corner of my lower lash line, just to kind of define my eyes but without using liquid liner. And I also use a dark brown brow powder and just kind of fill in any sparse areas. Then I went back in with my highlighting palette and going in with Forever Lit again and just using that to highlight my inner corners. Why do I make everything sound like a question? Then I'm just curling my lashes. This is my favorite eyelash curler. I got it from Target when Target was still in Canada. Rest in peace. And this is my all-time favorite mascara. This is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara, and it's in the black and blue packaging. It's super lengthening, super black. I freaking love it. Like, out of all the mascaras I've tried, it's definitely my favorite. And that's the eye look. And then I just go in with this e.l.f. matte lip color in Natural. It's, as you can tell by the name, very, very natural. I take my Essence Clear Lash and Brow Gel and set my brows. This stuff is amazing. It is $3. I'd highly recommend trying it. And then lastly, I set my face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, even though this stuff smells absolutely disgusting, but it works. And that is essentially the finished makeup look. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, follow me on all of my social medias. All the links will be down in the description box.